Kia ora, I'm Lynn Clark, and I'm the current Head of Department in Linguistics at the University of Canterbury. When I tell people that I'm a linguist, the first question that they ask me is usually, how many languages do you speak? And they expect me to say like 17. And they're usually a little bit disappointed when I say 1. And that's because linguistics isn't about just collecting languages, right? It's not about how many languages you can speak. Instead, linguistics is the scientific study of language. And that sounds a little bit highbrow, so let me just kind of pick that apart a little bit for you. So here at Canterbury, what we do is we study language structure and language use and how these interact with each other. So by language structure, I mean things like the sounds of a language, the bits of words that go into making up new words, and the grammar. And by grammar, I specifically don't mean things like where to put your apostrophes, right? So we're not going to teach you what correct English grammar is. Instead, we're going to get you to question whether that even exists, and if it does exist, where it came from and why it's necessary. In terms of language use, there are a couple of different ways that we also explore that at Canterbury. So we look at, for instance, how children acquire their first language. Or we look at things like how various different social characteristics might influence our language choices, like what age we are, our gender, our social class, our ethnicity, our persona, things like the type of person that we want to project to the world that we are. How all of these things kind of influence the specific language choices that we make. Language is everywhere, okay? And it really influences how we see the world and how we think and how we make memories. We are a group of linguists who have a real interest in understanding language quantitatively or empirically. And this is something that permeates all of our teaching, right from the first year through. And because of that, it's possible to take linguistics at Canterbury as either an arts subject or as a science subject. So you'll learn a whole suite of transferable skills that you would learn in both of those types of majors, just from taking linguistics. So what can you do with a degree in linguistics? Some of our recent graduates I know have gone on to teach English as a foreign language. So I know just off the top of my head of people who are currently in Japan, in Korea, in Georgia, and also in New Zealand teaching English as a foreign language. I know other graduates who have gone on to work in related disciplines, so people who've gone on to train and be speech and language therapists or audiologists. Some of our graduates have gone on to work in tech and data science. So if any of this sounds interesting, my top tip would just be try it, right? So try our Ling 101 or Ling 102 papers. These are just taster papers, but they give you a sense of what linguistics at Canterbury is like. And they also set you up nicely for any future study that you might want to do in this area.